YouTube doesn't like it when I'm doing 2 streams as well. Okay, so again, if you guys want to see more EWC gameplays and stuff like that, we're hosting all that on our YouTube channel. You can follow it at Hewley8, which is over here. Boom, over it right there. And then the other big part is, oh my god, we gotta stretch. Okay. Yes, what is the other big part? What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. I will change the shirt though. I will change the shirt. Yeah, you can watch it over there. We'll have muted audio though, so that way you guys can't hear me over on that side. But I will still be here. So that means you can, if you want to come in the class session, you guys can. Oh. Wait 1 second. Let me grab some water. Let me change this shirt. We're gonna have a good time and a good day. We're gonna learn more about EWC stuff. Alright? So, let me... I like how I have other EWC text boxes that I have no idea where they're at. Alright, I'll be back. Be right back real quick. Ow, my arms hurt. Changing my shirt. Go back. Now, I'm down to purple. Alright, y'all. So, our classroom session for the EWC I'm gonna do one email because I really need to do that email before I get really in big trouble. Plus, I want to be very useful to you guys. So we're gonna run that email. We're gonna let the EWC people know. We accepted the 2-3 partnership programs. Don't know if I'm gonna be diving deep into that, but yeah. Oh, and then we have our other microphone. Our other microphone's gonna be what we're gonna be using too to talk and stuff like that. And I hope it's okay. Hope you guys can be able to hear me through this one. So yeah. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I figured it was the one in Henderson. Mingo's Henderson is 8.9 miles. Second closest 11-19 Buffalo. But what are we doing in Henderson? I'd rather be in Buffalo, right? Pavilion 13 and Decatur 32 up north Decatur Boulevard. Oh no. Do I want to do Henderson or Buffalo? Sure, I'll do Henderson. Location preference. Warzone's getting really lit over there on the other side, which is super funny. Okay, boom. Just sent over an email. Everything's good. We're good. Okay, we're working. We're working, guys. We're working. Okay. We're good on the L streams. We're good on these things. Okay, good. Alright. Let the EWC know. MENA? Wait, did MENA? UEFA? What's UEFA? Wait, what's UEFA? UEFA. Wait, is that big? Oh wait, I'm back. Okay. Wait, is that big? Sell tournament earn ownership to investors? Is that big? I don't know how big that is. Okay, we're gonna do some more city pop. Can we do some Pokemon really quick today? Pokemon video game? Is that like legit for us to do? Pokemon music based stuff. Super. Video game. Oh, there's this one. But does this one get copyrighted? No copyright music. Oh heck yeah. Wait. Alright. Wait. I mean, I guess this is cool. I kind of like the other vibe, but it's whatever. EWC History. We don't have our standing tablet, so I don't even think I want to do my standing tablet either. But yeah, whatever. Alright, so I don't know how big this news is, but there was a big news thing that's just starting right now about WC or UFEA. Yeah, that's what it was called. Leaving. Boom. Boom. Alright, sweet. So we're gonna get into our class session, y'all. I will not have Discord up. And unfortunately, well, no, I'm just not gonna have my Discord up. So if anyone's coming from Discord and messaging from Discord, sorry guys, I'm not from that Discord. Well, I don't have Discord up, so I'm not gonna be using that. I will be doing this though. That is not, that's the wrong browser. Oh, you know what? I need to rename this browser. Rename Samsung Cam. So, all I have to do. Okay, Windows Capture. Boom, boom. We're gonna do. There's a lot. I have a lot going on right now. Pause counter. No, wait, hold up. We don't need our pause counter. Okay, so we're gonna do our new tab. So there we go. Let's get this over here. There we go, guys. I like this a lot better. I like this a lot better. Wow, it looks super huge. Humongo. We will smaller. Make the classroom session. Wow, that you cannot see through that word classroom session at all. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that real quick. Ba-bum. 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 Sweet. Alright, welcome to our classroom session, y'all. We are going to go over the history of EWC. Now, what does this mean? This means pretty much the simple fact that we're going to go through both sessions of what EWC had been through for basically your entire thing. What we are also going to do is we need a background color. We can do black. Oh my gosh. There we go. Boom. Perfect. Alright, so with that being said, we only use one source, and that source is our Liquipedia. Liquipedia is one of the credible sources that we use, right? So there's that. If the thing is too loud, you just let me know and I will turn it down. We just have music in the background because, you know, who likes to study without music? Not us. We like to study with music, so that's why we have music on, you know. I will be dumping back and forth just to check Warzone, because Warzone is going on our YouTube channel. So if you can follow our YouTube channel, if you want to watch some Call of Duty Warzone, that's going on as well right now for the EWC. What I'm also doing for you guys, because I love you guys and you guys are amazing people, we are keeping the Overwatch stuff on. That's right. I'm keeping the tag for Overwatch just for you guys, so we can give you guys your guys' stuff. And it looks like I'm still cold streaming, which is kind of crazy. But if you are coming from Overwatch, just wanted you to know, Overwatch is done for today. You know what? Here, we'll go through it. We'll go through it real quick. So, Overwatch did finish today. And today we went over a couple things. I didn't go through my weekly Overwatch stuff with you guys. I'm so sorry. Boom. So, if you didn't know, Overwatch is going through a mid-season championship series where it's over $1 million of a prize pool. $400,000 goes to the first place person, which is fine, but still, it is a total of $1 million. And not often do you get an Overwatch tournament that's $1 million. And not often do you get a tournament that has this jam-pack of regions in one go. So these are the participating regions that we have. It's about 16 clubs, and they're all from all over. And some are actually returning, which is kind of crazy. And the games that we went over today was specifically the lower bracket stages and elimination stages. What does this mean, you may be asking? What it is pretty simple. The people who are involved at the EWC and the people who are joining as their participating clubs were knocked out of the entire tournament. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're knocked out. Oh no, that's so crazy. And it is crazy. Excuse me. The one thing is that we're trying to let you guys know that the entire World Cup Central thing is a competitive tournament for esports. Like, you have to be good at a certain level. You have to make these things work. You have to be basically the best of the best out of your own station. And crazy enough, they have finished off some elimination brackets and elimination stages to where some people are now gone. Like, you probably won't see them for the longest while because of all the things that's going on. But yeah, this is what we went over. Sorry, I'm also fixing vertical cam for YouTube, so that's why if you're on YouTube, I got you. Oh, don't worry, I'm here. I'm worrying about you guys. You're welcome. You're welcome, homies. Zeta Division this beat over. That was all from the very beginning. Today, specifically, we did Crazy Raccoons beating Space Station Gaming, which is incredible, because it's a double NA basically final, and well, it was a double NA match, and Space Station Gaming just got knocked down. Space Station Gaming is supposedly the best in the United States region for Overwatch. It's just that not everyone sees them, knows them, and that's not their fault. I'm gonna be real with you. Overwatch has been a real underkey esports. What does that mean? That means literally everyone and anyone that loves esports, especially like League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Honor of Kings, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, stuff like that. They like those games a lot more than they do. They overly like those games more than they do for Overwatch. Overwatch has its own community, and let's be real here, Overwatch is a community that's super hidden, super low-key. It's not the first name you say when you think about video games. It's like, hey, what's your favorite video games? You don't say Overwatch, you say Super Smash Bros, Mario, something like that. Counter-Strike, right? Or, you know, Valorant, you know, all of those other games. If you don't say Overwatch, and Overwatch has a such highly big fan base. It's just so underkey, so low-key, and I'm not gonna say anything about publishers, but let's just say that publisher did a massive wonder of why we don't have let's just say they're the reason why I can't explain what new Overwatch is compared to old Overwatch. Yeah. Okay, but today we went over where we're going with the entire thing of EWC for the histories. That's what we're gonna go over. Yeah, so the whole NA stuff, kind of crazy. Space Station Gaming never got their flowers because they weren't ever able to get that flowers. So we had Crazy Raccoon beat Space Station Gaming, Weibo Gaming beat Team Falcons. Super crazy. All are upper bracket. When you're upper bracket though, you get sent to a lower bracket, which means you get another chance. Now, unfortunately, these are the matches down below. Do you see the 4 here? That has definitely made people sad, and I am also very, very sad. AGAL.AL, they're a club team. They got knocked out. So all of these matches here are actual elimination stages matches where you're gone. If you don't win, you're out. So AGAL got knocked out by Team Varel. Team Secret got knocked out by JD Gaming. 9Z Globalent, oh, RIP them. They actually have a college student from the North America who actually joined that, which is super cool. They're knocked out as well by T1. Well, T1 is a really big team. And then Team Liquid, who was expected to win this match against Dallas Fuel, and hence you not, Dallas Fuel only came back this year, and their last tournaments was in 2023. So literally a 3-year hiatus team that's never been back to appear, right? And their biggest accomplishment was in 2022. That's crazy, which is like 6 years ago. Oh, sorry, 4 years ago. They won Overwatch playoffs. They actually beat Team Liquid, which is crazy. But I guess they wanted that spot. They wanted to regain that championship thing. But they beat Team Liquid, and now all 4 of these teams on your left side that you're seeing right there on your screen, they are gone. They're heading home. They're gone. So yeah, that's kind of sad. Sucks to suck, but at the end of the day, it is a highly big competition. Is what we were talking about for Overwatch. Now, highly big competition. You may be asking, what does that mean? Glad you asked. So let us get into our Liquidpedia. Not Dota 2. We're gonna do Esports World Cup. So the Esports World Cup is an entire cup for the defunct 6-year tournament series. You know, the Electronic Sports World Cup? Okay, whatever. So the Esports World Cup is a organization that got together, and their original home base HQ is Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. They started this tournament series, or kind of intrigued on it after pandemic. I would understand this because in esports, I do work in esports. Just to get a little bit off topic, I run a esports nonprofit called the Nevada Esports Education League. It's one of the biggest esports nonprofits in Nevada. And what has happened for us, we started in 2020. And the craziest part about us too is that holy, we actually had an entire growth spurt after the pandemic. Everyone was becoming a gamer, and it was crazy. In an era where we didn't think people were gonna appreciate gaming, we thought we were gonna die and stuff like that. But not die, but like die out. We came back. I'm also gonna do a pause counter display, so that way, yeah, seems a little bit more transparent through in. Yeah, we thought we were gonna die out because of pandemic, and not everyone wanted to go meet out, go do tournaments outside and stuff like that. But we did not, which was crazy. So what has happened to our nonprofit is that we've grown so much to where we're starting to see the trends and become the new trends of esports. So what does this mean? This means to you guys is this: esports grew. Esports grew so much and so massively that now there's an entire whole landscape of people who love video games and stuff like that down at basically everywhere. And anywhere and around the world. So with that being said, the gamers, organizations, people who love video games grew massively. And since they did grow massively, you can obviously guess what happened after that. People said, why don't we have a tournament? So the tournament that was arising is basically working with partners, right? And it was kind of hard because during the after the pandemic aftermath, the communities from video games and stuff like that did not know if they were going to keep their job because they weren't essential, right? Having an essential job is kind of hard. Like, we're not doctors, we're not lawyers, we're not saving the day, we're not saving and stopping fires. But the one thing people recognized was my mental health. The mental health that I had from playing video games was a lot better. I felt like I had friends, I felt like I was more a part of the community, and people looked at it and took it a lot seriously. And it was crazy, because when people grew up, they said, your video game is not going to make you money, yeah, wasted your time, stuff like that. So all that BS is all gone now. We obviously know that video games is great, video games can make you money. Video games has been a forever growing industry that helps with mental health, and on top of that, it just pushes people to do more. And this is what got people together at 2023 or nearby that area of year, which was like 3 years ago, to gather together and say, you know what? Let's get together. Let's have esports as an actual job or an actual thing. And let's do something to make it cool or something like that, right? Something like that. You know what I mean? To give the community back more things and stuff like that. And look, to be real here too, it's kind of like a my nonprofit focuses on I don't know what else you would call it. You would call it like realistic goals, hard soft skills. There you go, hard soft skills. So the hard skill that we were going over is basically the how to make money part, right? So obviously we made people learn how to make money, how to grow, become adults, stuff like that through esports and gaming, which is what my nonprofit did. They were trying to do the same thing, and they were trying to say, how can we make money off of this? Not just profit rise, right? But how to make money off of this for other people and stuff like that, and how to grow the economy. They used the esports as their way of growing with guess what you see? The Esports World Cup. And now with that being grown over to over $75 million being given away this year, which is a lot of money. I don't know about you guys. I've never got an opportunity to compete for like $1 million and like stuff like that. Well, I did get an opportunity, but we won't talk about that. It is now more apparent than ever that esports is something big, something serious, and they wanted to put something into it to where people took it seriously, and that is where the creation of the Esports World Cup came. And what do you know? It worked in a couple other ways. What do you mean by it worked in a couple other ways, right? What I mean by this is this. Let's use the media EWC one. Basically, is the people who were, you know, looking up to saying, where in the Esports World Cup does it matter to where we can do like tournaments, get money off of it and stuff like that? They found out that everyone wanted to do a tournament, and there was these things called esports teams. Esports teams have been on for years and years, like way before Esports World Cup, way before the pandemic. We had the thing called esports teams down in 2000, the year 2000, all the way to, I want to say, freaking, or even beyond the 2000s. I want to say 2019 was super peak for esports, where people knew an esports team, they wanted to be a part of esports and stuff like that. We should whiteboard this. Whiteboard. And you guys know me, I like my whiteboard fox. My whiteboard fox is always going to be here. Oh no, never mind. That's not it. Whiteboard. But there you go. Web whiteboard. There we go. That's what I like. That's what my take is. I'm on. Where's my whiteboard? Alright, sweet. Here, we'll actually do this too. Alright. My browser. We gotta do a new window capture, actually. Yeah, we gotta do a new window capture. Let me new window capture this, guys. We call it whiteboard. Whiteboard. I'll call it a whiteboard. Oh. Alright, and then I know this is super tedious, so you guys gotta give me a moment. Well, I will be cutting and editing this video as on YouTube as well. So you are lucky, YouTube. You are lucky. Alright, sweet. So, where did we go off with? So, we had 23. That is where EWC had started. Or was thought of about. EWC. We'll just put it on here. Thinking. There we go. I feel like we should put a GIF here. We should definitely put a GIF here. Wait, Giphy. There's another website too. That's I like to use, but we'll do this one. Thinking. There we go. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah! Wait, it doesn't want to play. Can we play? Oh, it's not playing. Oh, maybe one day it'll play. But this is them thinking, right? They're like, what can we do? What is this esports thing that we can do and to connect the world together? So that created the first ever esports World Cup from the pandemic. Here we'll put a gold mark. Not because. We'll do cause. And because pandemic, basically, right? Because of the pandemic, they were like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Oh, let's do esports because it's pretty good. So they thought about this in 2023. Now, this led to something super big. We're gonna do red for this one because this was the very first one. So this was the biggest trial run ever. This led to EWC 2024. That's right, y'all. We got our first ever EWC starting in 2024. Now, this has been a little bit different. What do you mean by different, right? You may be asking. So, during the EWC 2024, we had certain games go on. I wish, you know what, should I just do display capture? I just don't want to leak anything I'm not supposed to leak. I don't think I'm leaking anything. Yeah, I don't think I'm leaking anything. Okay, we're just gonna do a display capture then. Total pause counter for Overwatch is 13. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna leak anything, I promise. Promise you guys. Do a display capture. Share screen to play with. There you go. And if somehow, some way I lose something, y'all will let me know, right? There you go. And same here. I'll just do a screen capture. It's a lot easier, guys. Play. So what's the difference between this EWC and other EWC? So in EWC 2024, well, they soft announced it for sure, but they called it the Rylet Masters. Rylet Masters. So this is a tournament that was coming out from basically what they usually had already, but this is the most that they ever put money into it. They put in a total of $5 million, but the actual prize pool was about $15 million. Why? Because they also added new formattings and new things. It was kind of cool, right? It's basically you win and you're good, and that's how it starts. But they had like different club points and stuff like that. So club points was really what they wanted to test out. They wanted to test out, hey, if I get enough people with enough teams and people who wanted to play in those teams, right, or in those games with their same team, or if they have other teams, then it would be cool, right? We can do video games and stuff like that, right? And it was basically a gauntlet of some things. They had a bunch of analysts, they had a bunch of hosts, a bunch of casters, stuff like that. And this was the first part of the Esports World Cup lineup. It says you had to take place in this games in order to go through the next cup game. And the one game that they used, which is kind of crazy, right? And this is where I'm talking about the base of esports. If you were with me on classroom session number 1, holy, the first ever like esports game that they definitely dumped and invested in was Dota 2. That's right. It was the Rylet Masters. Oh. Yeah. Boom. Boom. So, right between here was the Masters. Right here. I will put this in green and smaller. Riyadh, sorry, Riyadh Masters. But technically, it was the EWC 2024. That's what it was. So technically, that's what it was. And they only played one game, which was Dota 2. Now, anyone can fact check me, and that's perfectly fine. Because, again, the only limited amount of resources that we're actually using for legitimate reasons is Liquidpedia. Liquidpedia is the no-all, be-all, got sent. But yes, so Dota 2 was their qualified event. Basically, you beat this, then you get to go to the next World Cup, which was a bigger championship. And everyone's like, oh, that's cool. Everyone loves Dota 2. Dota 2 fans are just as equally passionate, loving the game as Counter-Strike people, because they come from that type of era. And yeah, so they were going into Dota 2, and they loved it. They loved it a lot. It supposedly gave them a lot more money, a lot more visibility. It basically legitimized it, a lot of these teams to say, hey, we competed in millions of dollars tournaments. And everyone's like, what? Really? And they're like, yeah. And then they actually got like money out sent to basically everyone that joined. I think there was everyone that joined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20. Yep. So everyone basically got money. And wasn't like super big money for those who are in last place. They just got a big lump sum of money that was tossed in there. But those club points were, yeah, usually given away thanks to their country. And I'm not going to say where the money's coming from, because that's not my political stance, and that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the game and EWC itself. So when EWC itself got these things, right, and they said, you know what, now we can do something bigger, and we have the legitimacy of people legitimized it, they told it to their other countries, everyone was like, should I jump on? So within 2025, they made a huge announcement on Twitter, and I remember seeing this when I was still in college at the time. But the biggest Twitter announcement ever popped up. So this is where Twitter came out. Or X, as it's formerly known. A tweet /X. Are you guys ready for this? Esports World Cup 2025. This should have been the top. That was the top one. Oh no, this is from latest. We need to advanced search this. It's for this exact phase. Okay. See, they're talking about this UFC thing. I think this thing's gonna kill it all. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna go off of what I said. Okay. Well, they announced the Esports World Cup 2025. So, oh sorry, during that year on Twitter of the beginning of the year, and that came up with the. We're gonna do this one, this color in purple. Yeah, let's do it in purple with the EWC 2025, which was basically the Star Child. Can we do a star? We don't have a star. Give me a star. Give me a star. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, this came the Star Child. I don't know how to do shape code. Wow, that's really bad. That's really bad. Oh, that's a lot better. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, there we go. It became the Star Child called the EWC 2025. Now, that is what happened last year, and you guys are interested in that stuff too, because this is going to be kind of crazy. So, since last year's EWC happened, and there's this year's EWC, we could do a compare and contrast. The compare and contrast is kind of crazy. I will do my best to list out what I can. But basically, this is the EWC 2025 World Cup. It's the first ever World Cup that they officially announced. People were like, oh my god, $1 million prize pool, so much money. They didn't know where the money was going to, and they were very skeptical. And they had all right to be skeptical, honestly. Like, bro, like $1 million, and I've never participated in a $1 million prize pool, but I would understand. I would definitely understand. Oh, wait, give me a sec. Oh, it's gotta stretch. Okay, we're cutting that off YouTube for sure. Okay, yeah, so you were like, whoa, what is this? There's like $1 million prize pool. What is going on? And basically, people were interested. There's $3 million that was up for club points to make sure they had the most teams and the most participants. They just didn't have enough, you know, traction, and people are still building out their esports communities and esports organizations. Because you have to remember this, 2025, which was last year, it's like the first decade of people getting out of pandemic, learning how to talk to people again, and just being inspired to do stuff. How would I know? Because that's where I started my nonprofit within pandemic, and people were inspired to do stuff. They just didn't know how. And making an esports team is not the easiest at all. No. Not at all. If you're making an esports team, man, I wonder how much money you're actually making. But basically, they made their own esports team. They got together and they fundraised, got sponsors, did everything they could to come to Riyadh. There you go, Riyadh. I had to remember how to say it. Sorry, my English is not the best, I guess. And yeah, so basically, instead of becoming the Riyadh Masters, they announced it as the Esports World Cup and adding other games. Now, what should we go into first? Games or teams? We'll go into the games, because the games is what you really want to look at right now. So the first thing we're going to go through, guys, is the games. I know this looks so bad. I don't have a pen or a tablet with me, so the games are different. They're kind of cool-ish. Well, we'll just find that. So here are the games. And that's the thing you wanted to know. Oh, plus there was a lot of backlash on this too. People just didn't want to go because of the money situation and where they're getting the money and what's the... There is conflict. I would be real with you. There is conflict over in that part of this country and part of the world. We won't go over that because again, we're only caring about the games and we're only caring about the history of these tournaments, why we got into Esports Cup 2026 and why it matters for us now, because we will talk about it where the new location is. Oh my gosh, where is the games? Where is the games? Team tournaments. Tournaments. There you go. Wait, this is category of tournaments. Damn. Okay. Listed as Dota 2. Can we get an EWC list? Alright, give me 1 second, y'all. Alright. 1 second. Okay. Actually, scratch all that. Oh my god. Grr. Okay, so besides from being listed on as Dota's first ever to announce this stuff, EWC did happen in 2024. Yeah. And it was announced in 2023. There we go. So let's make this correction. So it was announced afterwards, in Riyadh, that EWC would be happening from the Masters. If anything, put this here, and then we can select this, put this here. So yes, thanks to Masters. They're thinking about doing this in 2023. Which was Riyadh Masters. So 2024 featured the first ever tournament where the prize pool was about $62 million, which is kind of big. And it was open to all organizations, which was cool. But they had to display a public roster for it. Okay. And winning teams that get made to the top, I think it looks like top 8 went onto the 2025 for free. Or not like for free, but they qualified for it. I guess you do have to qualify for it. Alright, we're gonna have to set things back 1 because that's what happened. And this happened in the summertime. Oh my gosh. Alright, so here we are, 2024. We love esports and we love video games. And we get our very first ever Esports World Cup. We had about 26 participating teams, I think. Let me see. And it says there was about 28, yep, 28 teams that are participating. Yeah, 28 teams that are participating. Now, these are the games that was happening at the EWC. We're gonna do a screenshot snipping tool because that's a lot easier for my type, and I don't have to write down or list out anything. That was a fail. That's a fail. Alright. Boom. Alright, there we go. Paste. Allow. There we go. Alright, so these were the games. You had Apex, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, EA Sports FC, what they still called it. Which Call of Duty was this? This was Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare 3. I might wanna... I'm gonna take a screenshot so that way y'all understand that for anyone that's looking at this. This will be sent out as well to other people. Which was Call of Duty, Warzone, and Modern Warfare. We had Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Fortnite, League of Legends, PUBG, PUBG Mobile too. So there's two different PUBGs. If you don't know what PUBG is, it's Player Battlegrounds Unknown. It was the original, basically, Fortnite, I guess. But it was on the mobile, and it's a lot more realistic. Let's just say that itself. And you can drive, well, you can still drive vehicles in Fortnite, but you can drive a lot more vehicles in that one. They had Rocket League, Teamfight Tactics, because Teamfight Tactics recently came out during those years too. They had Sim Racing, which was kind of interesting. Very interesting. It's like Formula Racing, if anything. Then they also had Honor of Kings, Overwatch, Rainbow Six, StarCraft 2. That's right, StarCraft 2. 2 at the time. Mobile Legends. Mobile Legends is MLBB, so if you guys all know what that is. Free Fire. Free Fire was also there too. Fighters. Fighters. I think it was just the main Street Fighters and Tekken. Yeah, so Street Fighter and Tekken. So I'm gonna take another screenshot of this too, because people need to know. Alright, so they had Street Fighter and they also had Tekken as for these quote-unquote fighters. And they also had Overwatch. Yay! Which was also crazy cool. It's sad to know that though, but like because Dallas Fuse, they actually kind of went away after 2023. So kind of sad, much sad. So they had that, and then yeah, basically these were the games for 2024 with 28 participating teams. Okay, 28 clubs, participants, and the winners, believe it or not, was something that everyone thought and felt a little bit iffy about, but Team Falcons won. So because you know it's in their own country and stuff like that. Winning Team Falcons. Oh. Hello? So the winning team was Team Falcons, and basically there were the club participant winners. Everyone kind of felt iffy about that. But now we move on to the EWC 2025. Now what you want to look at is the difference of games here, because they added a special game that kind of made it a lot more interesting. It definitely made my life figure out that esports can be more than just video games, and it made it a lot interesting too. So they added more games, and the prize pool was increased to $70,000. Okay, there we go. So this prize pool was about 65,000. And they made the 2025 prize pool 70,000. Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there. We're not there at the 75,000 yet. But 70,000. Oh, 70 million. My bad. 70 big M's. We gotta remove this. Hold up. Highlight. 76 Sorry. Oh, $65 million to $70 million. Alright? And now the games here made it a lot more interesting, especially for me when I was watching. So the games here, they had another big total of more participating clubs. They had a participants of 40 teams. Increased from 30 teams to 40 teams. So, but the club participants were... How many clubs participants do we have? Deadline was extended. Okay, yes. Where are the club participants? Club program, club event, all club sign ups, organization. Maybe it was a organization. 40 programs, 40 side events. Had the card participants. Okay, I can't find that info right now. But definitely there was a couple of participants in here. There we go. 40 teams. 40. Yep, 40 clubs. 40 club members. I had to double check myself. 40 club participants. So we had 40 club participants participating in this. Great. So yeah, and then what games were here? Now, this is what I was talking about. These games made it a lot interesting because at the end of the day, we're not really talking about why we're super involved into this stuff. We're just talking about why we love the games because the games are the ones that bring us together. So these were the games. A screenshot. Alright. The games were... I don't think I got the word events in for the last one, did I? Let me re-screenshot it. Let me paste. Alright, sweet. Alright, so the games were Apex Legends, of course, again. Counter-Strike, EA Sports FC, Honor of Kings, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, StarCraft 2 again, Call of Duty. Let's go back to the Call of Duty. I think it was Black Ops here. I think this was Black Ops here, and of course they added Warzone. Yep, it was Black Ops here. So this was the Call of Duty. I remember this very well because I think they're doing another Black Ops series. It just tells you how much Call of Duty has been promoting all the old games. So for Call of Duty, they had Warzone, they had Black Ops 6. They had it added Crossfire, which is very unique. I think it's cool. They also added so we're doing League of Legends, Honor of Kings again, Rocket League, Teamfight Tactics, Sim Racing again, which returned. And you gotta remember that. Remember that. And they've added something kind of crazy. Oh, and in Fighters, real quick. For Fighters, they added Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. So they added Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. And then what's crazy enough, they added chess. That's right, y'all. Chess. Chess was included in the game, in the Esports World Cup. Why would you think that was included? Now, things were boasting about the pandemic, and people just couldn't get enough about games. And what has happened was, the games were all dedicated to younger people, right? And some people were like, there should be a traditional game that also got older people involved. Because, you know, esports, it's inclusive. It's not just about young people. And guess what? They found out that people were also online playing video games on a website called chess.com. Chess recently blown up at this moment and at this time. So the craziest thing ever is that what if we put in $1 million prize pool for chess as well? And esports team Forge, they were like, what? $1 million for chess? We need to have an esports team and an esports players. So literally, some of the teams created together and bought special people onto their team. Team Liquid got Magnus Carlsen. He's like one of the top Grandmaster chess players. Very amazing, but he only plays chess a lot. And he does get paid by tournaments and stuff like that. So they're like, hey, we want you. We'll pay for you to do this and this. Play in the Esports World Cup. So that's kind of crazy. The other big one is Hikaru. Hikaru is one of the North Americans' like biggest chess players ever. He's also a content creator, and Hikaru also got picked up by a team. But that one, crazy enough, not even picked up by an American team. Got picked up by a Saudi Arabian team, which was Team Falcons, and he plays pretty high up there. He's also a really good chess player. Other esports teams were looking out other ways to other countries, to other tournaments to find out who's going to be their next chess player. And they were using the internet as well. This is also the time of last year, which is 2025, and what we're doing right now is the blow up. I call it the blow up stage, because esports blew up because social media blew up. After the pandemic, people were also making things called TikToks, and it was crazy. And every time these TikToks were being made, people who had the app were always get hit with most randomest things ever, videos that really tailored towards them. It was the first time an algorithm was developed to tailor towards someone's TikTok and their own views and what they see, what they do. And since people had limited time on their social media, because at the end of the day, you just can't be on social media all the time, they actually saw and they took that and they're like, oh my gosh, we can find the best chess players. We can find the best players in the world. That's where actually I got involved in chess a lot more too, was because of the Esports World Cup. And thanks to esports, we got to put the spotlight on chess.com. We got to put a spotlight on all these chess players, and we got to take this world barrier of video games from chess so diluted. Like, we just blew up that barrier. We were like, you know what, chess, you're cool, everyone loves your game. Esports is like chess. You were playing chess on different levels, but we need chess. So you're coming with us, and you are under esports. So now chess is like its own athletic thing though, but it's still under esports, which is kind of crazy, kind of cool actually. So yeah, we took chess, and this is why I said notice the games, because here's the thing. And let's full screen this so that way everyone can see. At the end of it, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We'll say 19 categories, right? That 19 categories increased to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 categories for 22 different games, which is crazy. Now, there is a starch difference with where we are at. And are you guys ready for this? We are now in the year 2026. Great timing on the music for sure. Welcome, everyone, to the Esports World Cup. Let's not do green. Let's do. We already did purple, red. Let's do. Fine. Let's do green. To Esports World Cup 2026. Did I do the other? I did. Welcome to the Esports World Cup 2026. There is a huge starch difference though. Let's go with the participants. So, how many participants are involved in the Esports World Cup 2026? And only one team, yeah. And Team Falcons also won that tournament too. So, if anything, we can, here. And away team was also Team Falcons. Again. So, winning team was Team Falcons. Again. So now at the Esports World Cup 2026. Welcome. We are here now. And there are a lot of revisions and a lot of things going on. So, welcome to the Esports World Cup 2026. Can we not do chess? Oh my gosh. Did I close the wrong thing? I think I closed the wrong thing. Ay. Here you go. We have to go to remember. We have to remember which Liquipedia we're on. We're on Alpha. Alpha Esports. Good. Okay. So this is the Esports World Cup 2026 prize pool. Is 75. That's an ugly looking 5. $75 million runes. So we've increased it by another $5 million. Crazy. Alright, so it's about $75 million. And then where are we at? So we have a total participants of clubs to... a lot more clubs there should be. Is it 24 still? Oh, they had a change section. They had a change section. Okay. Oh yeah. So here. Okay, so I'll just photograph these changes because that makes a lot of sense. Just in case we didn't go through it. Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare was not returning. They did Black Ops. They added more stuff like that. Alright, there you go. Did they have another change section in 2024? Yeah, because they never had. It came off Gamers 2023. What is this? Yeah. Okay, well, it came off a thing called Gamers 8. That's what it's from. It's at Dota 2, we'll just put Gamers 8. Had featured a Rallied Masters and stuff like that. When I heard about it, for sure. Okay, so go on with it. In 2024, it had no changes because literally it was the first one ever. Yeah, it was the first one ever. I know, for any games that weren't there, like, that's not to say it was a change, it's just to say it was just there. So, we are in 2026 now. There we go. Alright, y'all, so we're in 2026 now. What does this mean? You're like, what? Where are we at? Basically, it's pretty much simple. In 2026, we had a total of about I think we had a lot more club participants. I just need to see the listing again, so go back over here. Rankings. So the club participants ranking. Last year final winners, select the year. There's only 2 years basically that they got recorded. End game predecessor. 85 clubs? Track? I guess there are 85 clubs. We're gonna take what's on the website for sure too. Because the website is actual factual. Because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be on there. But they have 85 clubs. We'll just say that. 85 or so clubs. Which is a lot. And it's one of the biggest ones. Of course, we care about this part, which is the most important part. Which are the games? Oh, I don't want to do blue. We're doing red. Which are the games, right? That's what we care about the most. So, the games that we have for $75 million. Oh wait, I didn't do the word events. I'm so bad. Oh my gosh, I didn't... You know what I hate? I hate how this also adds into my folder. Okay, boom. 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 Alright, so these were the games for 2026. Alright. Obviously, we gotta click on some of these things. Like, for Call of Duty, we had Warzone going on right now. Huh? Wait, why does it only lead to Warzone? Hello? There's two games. There's Black Ops and Intuitus. Black Ops and you know what? We'll just do it the other way. I'm also gonna take another photo that I already have. And I'm gonna put it in here. Downloads. There we go. We're dropping it. Okay. These are the games. You guys probably can't see. Alright. Alright, so these are the games for 2026. You have Apex Legends, Crossfire, Fortnite, Mobile Legends, Big Bang, which there is 2 sections. There's a women's division and a male's division. I think they had that within the prior years too. Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, Call of Duty, which is Black Ops 7 and Warzone, Dota 2, Free Fire, Overwatch, Rocket League, Chess, Esports FC, Honor of Kings, PUBG Mobile, Teamfight Tactics, PUBG the regular one, Trackmania, League of Legends, and the fighting games and Counter-Strike. So let's get the fighters. But yes, as you can tell, there's a couple games I'm missing in there that was not brought back. But for fighting games, you obviously got the same the Mighty Three, I guess we'll call them. Street Fighter 6, Fatal Fury, and Tekken 8. So we'll call this the Mighty Three. So the Mighty Three came back, of course. Alright? Now, what are the changes you see? Now, the changes are very interesting. And I don't know if it's because of what I think it is, like assuming that it's not, right? Because I'm not the one to be all, end all, know all. But some of these games had conflicts. Such as Overwatch 2 had conflicts. Basically, Overwatch 2 was going to call itself basically Overwatch 2, right? We don't know it as Overwatch 2. Heck, you're here and you're watching a category called Overwatch, but it's called Overwatch 2022. So, Overwatch 2 changed their name, and they weren't even thinking about coming to the Esports World Cup. Which is kind of a bit of a change. Alright, come on. Another thing that changed is some games did not return. StarCraft 2 did not return. Which is kind of crazy. They did change Call of Duty. Obviously, they're going to change every single year, because every single year there's a new Call of Duty. But Rensport, which was one of the Formula Sim Racing games, is not here. They did not choose sim racing anymore. I wonder why. I say it's assuming it's because Rensport Sim Sport is not a fun game to watch, or here's the other big one, it's just not more impactful as actual Formula 1. Formula 1 is one of the biggest racing like things ever, so yeah. I don't know why my music stopped there. Okay, so we had that change. Those changes happened. We did have new games added, which was Trackmania. Trackmania is an interesting one. Trackmania has been around for about 4 or 5 years right now, and literally all it is, or about 3, I think it's still 3, but you ride on tracks in like a high speed and etc., and you have to like really balance and manage your cart, and it's crazy because it's not just one-on-one persons anymore, it's about 64 people in a group. So if anything, they might run it like the power of like battle royales, where they have a lot of people going, then they have group stages and etc. and all that. So there's that. Another thing that has added was Fortnite, which was I think was a little bit more later than anything, because when they added Fortnite from 2024, right? They had an option to like use what type of the background music is Pokemon what was it? Get off my Dirksen. The Pokemon chill, relaxing music to sleep, study, and no copyright music for 5-hour plus reign. So that's what it is. But to go back to it, the Esports World Cup took out Fortnite as a 2025 game, because they didn't understand which Fortnite to use. And then I think Fortnite at the time was doing like its massive story change. If y'all remember how this is, Fortnite likes to like do the super out of the blue major season changes to get more attention. And one of the attention was that they shut down the game. They put everyone in a black hole. Or every time the new season, before the new season starts, they kind of just shut down the game. So, Fortnite came back, and now Fortnite has a new thing called Fortnite Reloaded, where you're playing all the old Fortnite maps and all the old Fortnite equipment and weapons and stuff like that, which is one of the major changes. Another major change is the prize pools itself, and some qualifications. And on top of that, it's a lot of good changes too that has been added, which I think it's a little bit scary, because the more things you add into esports, the more that they're able to be taken away, which is scary. In general. So, and anytime you take anything away from anything, whether it be good or bad, it's just, people just assume the worst, that things has happened the worst way as ever. Not like, hey, it's needed to be changed. Dota 2 lost $1 million in their prize pool, which kind of sucks, but I think it's because they're adding more money to a different tournament, which is like their World Invitational and International ones, which is super big. Valorant got a 700 Buckaroos $1,000 prize pool added. Counter-Strike got a 700,000 Buckaroos prize pool added. EA Sports FC got a 500 prize pool added, which is Buckaroos. We call Buckaroos as in 100,000s. Rainbow Six Siege had a different international qualifications and to get in. And then a lot of teams just joined up. Like, you had more teams for Counter-Strike, more teams for Fatal Fury, more teams for Dota, PUBG, Warzone, Free Fire, Chess. League of Legends also had more teams into it. You had more teams for EAFC. You also had more teams for Rainbow Six Siege, MLBB, and Honor of Kings. Now, 16 minus teams for Street Fighter 6, it's only just players, right? Some of the players aren't sponsored anymore, or some of the qualifying club participants, they just didn't want to pick up new players. So a lot of people just came in on their own behalf and their own position. The fighting game scene right now is kind of lackluster right now because there's not enough people or teams they seeing the return of interest to be like, I'll sponsor you. Yeah, go to $1 million tournament. Then I can get some proceeds. Because they didn't know what was going on for this year. This year is one of the biggest changes, which I think not everyone was talking about. So originally, we were here in Riyadh, right? I don't know how to picture this. So we're in the capital of Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Copy this image. Paste. So we're in Riyadh. Originally. Right? And now here's the politics parts that I will not get into. Okay? That is basically, yeah, that's basically line N. How do I do the size? I don't know. Yeah, originally we were in Riyadh, and that's where it was going to take place. People were thought it was cool or whatever, or some people didn't want to go to the Middle East because there's been a rising conflict over there. I'm not going to talk about it as much. But the basic situation is this. There's a war going on. Things are happening over there. Things are just not as friendly for any friendly competition to even get your mind off it. It's not like the Olympic Games, unfortunately. So, where did they move it? Exactly. You would be surprised. I can actually move this World Cup because it is a World Cup. No, it is not Paris, Las Vegas. They moved it to Paris, France. The capital. Oui, oui. So, what's awesome about this? It's a lot differently. Well, the vibe is different, that's for sure, right? Not only did they move it to Paris, France, where they had huge support from their parliament or like their big prime minister, who's like in charge of the entire country of France, which is kind of crazy. And some people from Europe of the actual parliament, which is the bigger country part that are working inside that. Support that as well with the esports stuff. They actually moved it to a place and location where the original states of the esports world esports day, World Esports Day, was actually originally stated, which I followed up and I made a law here in Las Vegas, Nevada. In Nevada, I made it the first law with a state assemblywoman and all that. Got it signed, and it's actually the first law in the United States that was recognizing esports as an official day. But moved to Paris, France, where I'm not going to lie, the biggest esports fans it's in Europe. That means a lot. And here's the other great part about this. France, and if you look at the world map, it's in the middle of the entire world. So anyone, that's a small world map. We're gonna use this. And we're gonna open this in a new tab. So anyone and everyone. Oh my gosh, that is not okay. If I zoom in, will it zoom? Oh, no, it wouldn't. I knew it wouldn't do that. I knew it would not do that. Oh, jeez. Clickable map. Okay, this is a clickable map. Whatever. Okay, so if you look at it, oh look, this actually is a good map. It's actually a good map if you click the link. France is in the middle of the entire world. So what do you know? Everyone from the United States of the Americas. Everyone from the Middle Eastern regions, everyone from the Asian regions, and the South I guess we call it the Southern Europe region, and Russia and all that, all can come to France in the middle of the entire world to meet up and to participate in the Esports World Cup. It just made a lot more sense that way. And then not only did they get government support, people loved the idea of having it there rather than having it in a place that's kind of having some issues right now. And then politically, they weren't cool with the countries that were being involved in the issues as well. So there's a whole thing too on social media. And this is not just coming from the United States. I know the United States like to always shout, scream and shout and all that, but this is actually coming from everyone across the entire world. So going from that, going to Paris, France, they finally made it and participated into saying, you know what, France is a good location. We'll host the Esports World Cup 2026 there. So that is one of the biggest changes of what has happened. And they did a lot of cool others miniature things, which is including a co-streaming partnership, which as you can see, I am your new co-streamer for the Esports World Cup here. And Paris, France was also one of the pusher and the main factors for me personally, just to let you guys know, I'm open about this, why I participated more in the EWC stuff. Whether it was going to be in Raid, I would definitely have to, I would have thought super hard about it. But now that it's moved to Paris, France, it was just a no-brainer, and I thought it was the best option and choice for me to come and educate you guys on esports. That's right. We educated you guys on our class session number 4. Yay! Congrats. Alright, so we're going to do a small little 1-minute recap of what we just went over for today. And I want to say thank you guys again for showing up, staying. And for you guys who are brand new, don't forget to hit a follow. We do these class sessions every Thursday for during the Esports World Cup. And then if you want to follow me on my social media, that's Hugh Lee or NV, which you can see right there on right here. My socials. We also do basically recaps for the week of EWC for those games. But let's go. I'm no more wasting time. 1-minute recap of what we went over today for our Esports World Cup week 4 class session number 4. Alright, we went over today the different games and how EWC started, from becoming the Amazing Gamers 8, having the idea in Riyadh, and after Dota 2's Masters to be like, let's do an actual World Cup. Especially coming out of the pandemic, they hosted the Esports World Cup 2024 as the first World Cup officially, and it was announced on Twitter, which is where I saw it. This cup actually had a $65 million prize pool, and with the winning club participant team becoming Team Falcons in their own country, which is kind of cool, and they hosted many games. After hosting those games, they moved on to the Esports World Cup 2025, and guess what? The $70 million, which was the newest prize pool, was won by Team Falcons again, which was kind of crazy. They had more games included in, and they added special games like chess. Chess was super special, and I like to say this personally. You're welcome, chess. You are taken under the wing by esports. And then with that being said, we used all that information and using all that amazing good hype and experience to now host the Esports World Cup 2026. And one of the biggest changes is not just because it's a $75 million prize pool, they have 85 club participants, and the biggest parts about the changes is that we removed games. We removed games like Ren Sports, of course EA SP Cup 25. We brought back Fortnite, which was crazy, and we replaced Ren Sport with Trackmania. We took away StarCraft 2, which sucks, but we also got Call of Duty Black Ops 7 in return. And yeah, it was just another bigger prize pool, more teams would be able to participate. And one of our biggest changes in the entire Esports World Cup sector and season is that it is moved to Paris, France this year. And that is your EWC class session number 4 in less than 1 minute recap. You're welcome. But yes, yeah, we went through a lot of stuff today. And that is where I came in. I'm loving the fact that it's in Paris, France, and it looks to me like right now, as we see on the current leaderboard, this is just current, so it could change any single time. that, believe it or not, the Team Falcons is not in first place. Team Falcons is not in third place, or second place, or fourth place. Not even in fifth place. Currently, Team Falcons is in sixth place. So this year might be the year where we'll see a new club champion, which is amazing and incredible because the winning club champion gets $7 million, which is kind of a lot of money. And so far, it's been so good, and we're just so happy to see it. Now, where the directions go after this, we don't know. If anything, I would just be happy to just say this. I think everyone here and everyone who loves esports will just love that it exists. And that's what matters the most, right? That these things exist. So yeah, that is your class session for the EWC 2026 of number 4. I hope you guys were well informed. Did you guys like it, chat? Hopefully you guys liked it. We still got viewers. I think that was the best part, right? That I still got your guys' attention. You guys are still here. Not only did you guys get free drops from Overwatch, so big thanks to Overwatch, the team for Overwatch, and the big team at Esports World Cup, letting me have access to stuff. It says that I'm broadcasting. It says that I'm broadcasting. No? Yeah, I didn't think so either. Well, you guys just joined automatically because of your own fruition. You guys are amazing. Crazy. So I'm very happy. I'm happy you guys came. Unfortunately, Jeffrey, I know you have me down on the side, but it looks like I might not be streaming this here for Overwatch now. I'm also kind of tired. I've been up with you guys since a little bit of 2 a.m. 3 a.m. actually type of time. We played a game of League, which is cool. I want to play some more League, but unfortunately I have some more things to do. I have some non-profit stuff to do. But I enjoyed spending my time with you guys here. I enjoy, thank you to EWC for having me here too. It's been really nice to be talking with people and educating people and having people just listen to me yap. Someone called me a yapper today on Discord, and guess what? I am the yapper. And I love yapping, especially about esports. I love it. Alright, with that being said, we are getting closer now to saying goodbyes. We are ending YouTube, so YouTube, see you soon. You guys will be in an edited video. So yay.